Alright, so connecting hundreds of APIs with Chat GPT is quite a daunting task, but I've gone ahead and done it. And yeah, here it is. I've gone ahead and made this nice little front end thing to contain it all. So the sort of use case for this is that, you'll think of a business idea. You know how you sit with your friend, you might have come up with some cool business idea. You're sitting down, maybe why has no one done this? I want to research. And it's usually a really long task. Some of you might just put internet search onto ChatGPT and it'll give it decent deep research. But what if we just connected hundreds of APIs and used ChatGPT to give us like the text in a nice readable format, and maybe make some graphs off the data, all that stuff. So I've gone ahead and connected all of that. So we have this sort of super market research tool here, which I'll show you guys a little demo of, right? And yeah, so it's gonna go ahead and use all these APIs and collect all this information. I've used more APIs to make graphs of it, more APIs to write it out nicely. I've used ChatGPT to actually vet the information and actually write it out as well. Nice. So it's not just some like crazy data written out for you to understand, right? So I've also asked it the top 8 best metrics used by market researchers, and it's given me this. I've also added some of my own. So before we go in, let's go talk about what we're actually going to do, right? So let's say I write some sort of business idea and I click generate complete analysis, and it's going to give me all of these, right? So it's going to give me TAM, SAM, SOM analysis, so like total addressable market, serviceable addressable market, all of that. It's going to give me a bunch of stuff about that, not just the 3 metrics, a bit more geographic segmentation. All right, so it's going to look around the globe. Where is this product that you're like you want to make? Where is it currently like really high demand? Competitive benchmarking. We're going to take a look at metrics, financial metrics, and market positioning. Deep flow analytics. This is a bunch of just like information that I've looked online. People want this, so I've done it, put it in. Pricing analysis, really cool. So at the beginning we have this sort of section where it will first sections identifying the top like 6 biggest players in that industry, it's given that product. And I'm also gonna see if their pricing is available, and I'm gonna put it down on the table beneath it so you can see what they're actually charging for it. Macro regulatory. Alright, PESTEL, this is the cool bit. Alright, I love this section. Right, so this API actually gives me so much information. I can actually like store it into a nice like table and give me up-to-date PESTEL analysis. So I'll show you that. I'll show you that with the example. Innovation radar, right? So any sort of changes or things that have been innovative like over the past years, it's gonna show us that, right? And interactive dashboard, time series. I told you about the graphs earlier, right? We're gonna go get some data, create some time series graphs, all of that stuff, financial metrics. Really fun. And you can export it to PDF, of course. All right, so some sort of example. Let's say I'm a dog owner, I guess, and what about like I don't know what we can write. Frozen treats for dogs. Something like dog ice cream or something. I don't know, but something crazy like you're just sitting there. This is a cool idea. What for dog ice cream? I don't know. You guys probably have more vibe ideas than me, but so it's gonna take a while because there's lots of APIs, right? But after this is done, it's gonna be like it's gonna show you everything, alright, and we are done. So instead of like getting someone spending like 2 months finding the proper information, piling it all together, betting it, this does it in like 5 minutes. Alright, so you sit down on the table. What if we can make some frozen treats for dogs, maybe some sort of like dog ice cream, alright? And then we get all of this information. This is a long document, so I'll try to be quick as possible. So we've got this sort of market overview, market for treats, for dog treats. Telling you about it, niche segment, specialized healthy refreshing treats, growing awareness for pet wellness, and an increase in pet care. Right, this is a little market review. Top companies in the space. 2 big guys. It's quite. You would expect 2. I mean, it can get up to 6, but no one's really making pet ice cream, alright? Anyway, so, I mean, yeah, pub cups or whatever, but, so, yeah, top people in the space, you can visit the websites, these links do work, just click on that. Yeah, dog ice cream, as you can see. Anyways, so yeah, go down here to the pricing models, what they actually charge per cup. So, you got the company name, the plan type, the price range, key features, natural ingredients and stuff. So that's kind of cool. You can see what you would charge your thing at compared to the big guys, but you wouldn't really. But Market trends and insights. This is the next section where you can see what's going on. Pet wellness products and natural and simple ingredients. So this is sort of what people want in their products. Obviously, competition is moderate. You'd think it's like an duopoly, but it's not really. It's just like two players in the market, I guess. That's why it's quite low. I mean, this is using OpenAI and all the information to give you this metric, so it knows what it's talking about, right? So more than me, right? But yeah, 65 out of 100, decent, moderate level, right? That's a competitive intensity. So if you're looking to enter the market, I take a look at this. It's not bad. You would enter this probably. Market share visualization, yeah, it's kind of a duopoly, but whatever. Distribution of market share, so you can actually go ahead and see this sort of Frosty Paws guys on 50% of the market, Ben & Jerry's, Doggy Desserts 30, and then like other players 20, right? So you can just see what's sort of going on in the market, right? Here's some code. This is sort of SEO sort of type beat, right? Let's take a look at this. So you can see compared to the size of these words how important they are. So allegedly natural and healthy treats are the top. You would think, because it's like a luxury product, you would think people would actually be like, yeah, I want it to be natural and healthy, right? So so yeah, this is sort of your SEO thing going on. Probably expand this to make it a bit better, but it's kind of cool, right? Anyways, deep market sizing and growth. Let's go into the first section, right? So TAM, SAM, SAOM, we talked about earlier. I'll try to speak a bit slower. So the total addressable market, 50 million. It does sound about right, because dog treats are frozen. Serviceable addressable market just 50 million, and then serviceable obtainable market. So you can see so you can see that the whole market, right, and you can see what's like realistically attainable. So that's like 15 million, and then you can it could be captured in the near term. So it's sort of like right now, and then market growth. You can see just growing a bit quicker here, and then this is where we are, and this is just a extrapolation. I tried to make it dotted. I can't really. It just messed up. Don't worry about that. So this sort of market growth over the past 5 years, and then this is just extrapolation. Market segmentation. So this is sort of what's going on. So the premium treats is 50% of the market, and then like standard versions are 30, and value treats, I guess that's like budget sort of options, probably 20%. So that's kind of cool. You get all that information. I'm gonna go down to here. This is taking a look at what kind of continents want this the most. Usually there's 5, but like it didn't include it this time for some reason. Maybe because it's like really niche, you don't really have information. Anyway, so yeah, North America, Europe, Asia Pacific, and Latin America, we got this sort of demand. So North America, I expected these guys to be big players. I didn't expect Asia Pacific though. I didn't expect that. Latin America being the lowest, right? We'll do another example, like a really general one, and we can see like everything filled out, but this is just an example, right? So customer profile, this is who you're going to be selling to. So we've got this health conscious pet owners. We're going to like 40% of the people are there. They're willing to spend like $100 annually, which is good information to have. What the decision criteria is, they want to know about the ingredients, brand rep, and nutritional value, which sort of aligns why there's 2 big players in the game, right? Ben & Jerry's is king of ice cream, allegedly. They'll ask me, I don't know. Cost sensitive customers is your next people. So you got like, it's sort of the descending order, right? So you've got cost sensitive customers. That's why the value, if you go back up here, that's why you got the value treats as a big player as well. And then premium segment as well. So you can go ahead and check how this is sold. So 50% in retail, 40% online marketplace, which I expected this to be the top, but this is new, right? And direct to customer 10%, alright? And then here's competitive financial benchmarking, so many metrics, alright? So earlier, this is sort of the pricing plan we saw on top. A bit more information about transactions. We're going to see a bit more of the detail. Leading brand of dog ice cream, known for its health-focused ingredients. And these guys already have an ice cream company, so expanding to doggy desserts, it's not a bad decision, right? They're growing much faster than these guys, as you can see. It's kind of cool. Funding round, almost 4 years ago. You can see that I wouldn't expect much funding for these sort of companies, but we got one, 150 million, no, 20 million, which is a lot, right? SWOT analysis, this is fun. So we're going to see the competitive positioning, right? So we can see for that sort of idea you gave, there are 2 major players with varying competitive strengths. Growth rates are moderate, suggesting a mature market with established players, right? How fun is that? SWOT analysis, we've got the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats of the thing we suggested. So, established market presence, strong product diversity is a real strength, but there is high competition. That's why 65 up 100 is still above average, I guess. Price sensitivity and market saturation. There are two players. There is sort of market saturation. There's opportunities in the emerging market because who was buying dog ice cream 15 years ago, right? You don't need to explain this. Whatever. Threats, regulatory changes, new entrants. Yeah. This is sort of deal flow and transaction metrics, alright? So I should have these things as chapters. You don't want to hear me waffle, right? So just like different chapters of each metric. So we've got this sort of deal cycles and patterns in the dog market, right? So we've got deal size under 10k, all of this stuff going on. You would have an average time on the market at 60 days from listing, which sounds about right. First listing successful, obviously, because it's ice cream. I don't think there would be a second listing in ice cream. Requires a relisting, yeah, maybe like some weird niche thing going on. There's price adjustments 15%, alright, reduction of 10%. Let's take a look at the pricing and value driver analysis, right? So this is pricing benchmarks and factor affecting value in the dog treat market, right? So we can see here the basic, standard, and premium tiers. You can see the values of the pricing, standard being middle and stuff like that. But what's really interesting is these ones, right? So this is what drives value and what doesn't drive value. So health certification seems to increase pricing. So because we saw earlier about a focus on the ingredients and stuff. Similarly, the ingredient source transparency and sustainability would be linked to that. Brand loyalty is probably something to link with like Ben and Jerry's, because yeah, you kind of get that. Pricing insights is another sort. Each one of these are API, by the way. There's a lot of stuff connected. Health certification, brand loyalty, all of this stuff is a factor. Just like this is interesting. PESTEL, these are all green, and sometimes this is kind of cool. Look at that. Strict regulations, improved market trust. If we take a look at political, economic, we can take a look at the this is the best section, by the way, PESTEL. You want to look at this. Economic factors, increased spending on pets despite varying economic conditions. Social, we can take a look at the social owners increasing treat pets as family. Advances in pet nutrition science. This is tech. Ongoing research drives product innovation, and this is going to take a look at environmental trend towards eco-friendly and sustainable products. And then we got legal, transparent labeling rules, increased customer trust. So this would be either red, blue, or green, right? I mean red, green, and yellow, right? So this is it shows all sort of factors pushing this product, right? And for some reason I've never seen it before, all green, by the way, and that's probably a good sign for this sort of thing, right? Particularly the risk assessment metrics, all right? So we've got some medium risk. What's this happened over the past couple of years? We've got some tariffs. We know about the tariffs that happened. Probability 60%, impact 50%. What's going on at PR? Ingredient supply chain issue. We've got 70% chance of that, obviously. At the 80% impact, because we know how important ingredients are. So yeah, everything does align. Quite cool. Let's take a look at trends and innovation radar, right? Insights into emerging technologies and innovation patterns in dog treats. So you can see the trends now in a bit more detail. Emerging technologies, personalized treat formulations based off age, breed, and dietary needs. So real like hyper-focused treats, real cool, right? And then we've got this sort of search trend and digital advertising. Okay, so so we just can see like how people advertise this stuff and how much they're spending on it. So this is a real good information for you're going to be advertising your product, so you can see how much other people are spending on it. So we've got healthy dog treats is above dog ice cream, but people are buying dog ice cream because it's healthy treats. You kind of get that sort of thing. Media and social sentiment analysis. We've got this sort of thing over here. The one company at 70, the other company is at 75. Frosty Paws got 15k. Mentions Ben & Jerry dog treats got 12k, which is 70 plus 70 plus 75. I've never heard of this, so this sort of lines up. Interactive and exportable dashboard. This is the next section. We can go ahead and like filter on everything, have fun with that, but let's just keep it on quarter one. We can just play around with that graph, export it and stuff at the PowerPoint, which is cool. You can see all the values of the market size, customer growth, and this sort of lines up with the serviceable addressable market we saw at the very top. You click on the endpoints, you can see that stuff, but we're not going to do that. Here's one of the things I added myself. Alright, so we're going to take a look at the reviews. and we're gonna see which ones are negative, right? And we're gonna write this down here. So my dog loves it, but more flavors would be great. Wish there are more seasonal flavors, and then we're gonna use OpenAI to suggest what you can do to address the pain points in the market, right? So limited flavor options, increase repeat purchase, boost brand excitement, differentiate brand in the market, right? So it's real cool stuff going on here. Another section I added is how you can use AI in this sort of industry you suggested. So you can be like, it's more like you can't really use AI in ice cream, so it's going to be more the sell side. So go ahead and use you're gonna have to use analyze customer purchases and recommend products, right? So you've got a lot of information here. Strategic recommendations. You're gonna use AI to deliver personalized promotions based on customer behavior and preference. So that's sort of it. A short-term change, by the way. And yeah, a little bit of sources here. This is a whole document you can go ahead and download as a PDF and send to someone. And yeah, so that's that. Let me just do one more quick example. You don't have to wait for anything. I'll show you how it looks at something else for another example, more general. Let's say something really general this time to show you. That's I want to make a company that commissions like drawings based off people's favorite shows. Alright, so real nice classic example should be. Let's take a look at this market about sort of commissioning drawings. See Big Three, Fiverr, Etsy, lines up. I never heard about this one though. That's kind of cool. You can see what the sort of commission price is, 10 to 200, all of that. I expected it to be much more competitive, quite interesting. You can see all of the stuff, different sort of keywords. I want to show you some other stuff though. Here we can see this is more of a broad market. You can see all 5 of the inhabited continents, what their contribution is. Surprisingly, I didn't know about this, but the biggest market is in Asia Pacific. That's kind of cool. I'll tell you that for true. And I want to look at PESTEL. I want to show you how that looks. So look here, much different to the other one. This is red, copyright laws, tightening restrictions on fan art reproduction, right? Orange, okay, that's not available. I'm guessing orange just means nothing available. Yeah, neutral, yeah. So it's either positive, negative, or not there. So take a legal, increase enforcement, IP rights, which is positive, increase in online buying for tech, social, changing trends in pop culture, increased demand for custom art. That's probably because AI art exists and no one likes that. Me neither. You can see all of this stuff, a bunch of different stuff going on. Yeah, so just that. So you can see it works for different sort of markets and it's very cool. So hope you enjoyed that video and let me know anything about what you want to know in the description. Alright.